Hey everyone, welcome back to another review on BrowncoatNerd. Today we are finally doing a follow-up video that I promised you, I don't know, over a year ago. And what we're going to be talking about today, if you did not read the thumbnail, is part 2 on the old Zastava M70. This is chambered in 32 ACP. It's kind of like a miniature Tokarev, but as I talked about in the other video, this is a direct blowback action, whereas your traditional Tokarev, we'll get our sister out here, is a tilting barrel with locking lugs. And I'll get back into that a little bit more. I'll actually tear it down at the end of the video, as I promised in the first video. So, some of the issues I was having with this guy when I first got it is I was getting light strikes. Didn't know if it was up to the ammo, what was going on. So that was kind of the main reason I wanted to do the follow-up video. So once again, I got this from Classic Firearms a while ago. I can't remember exactly when. I did pay $250. It was not a hand select or anything like that. Came with 2 mags and this very well broken in holster. Now this holster is, as you can see, it's definitely used, but it's actually held up. You know, it's doing its job. It's just kind of like a well broken in baseball glove. So, and I really wanted this gun to work because this was my second 32 ACP pistol after my CZ-VZ50, and surprising to me, I never would have thought of it, but this little 32 ACP round is a pretty fun little whippersnapper to shoot. Also referred to as a 7.65. So basically what I assumed was the issue was that there's buildup in the firing pin channel. Now I couldn't find any specific videos on the M70 with the firing pin removal. I figured it was very much like a Tokarev, in which basically it's just a little plate. You know, you push down on the firing pin and you pop the plate out of the way. And this kind of appeared to be set up that way. It looked like there was a plate in there, but excuse me, I cannot for the life of me get that plate out of there. I didn't know if it was pinned in place, if there's something else I needed to remove first. I just couldn't figure it out. But in the process of pushing down on that firing pin with a punch, I mean, you could hear the buildup of cosmoline and oil and gunk in there. It sounded gross. It sounded like someone was mashing potatoes. So I was like, this definitely needs to be cleaned out. This is most likely the issue here. But like I said, I wasn't able to get that actually that firing pin out of there. So then I made the issue worse. I've had people often tell me that Ballistol is a great cleaner. Let's see this stuff here, and it is. I had never used it before, and while I was experiencing this, I had someone that was cleaning out a garage and didn't need it and gave it to me. I was like, yeah, I've never used this before. I've heard it's great stuff. So let me spray a whole bunch of that down in there, and you know, I kind of pushed the firing pin in with the punch and sprayed a bunch of the Ballistol in there and let it, you know, sit. Took it out to the range the next day after wiping it down, and everything I fed it was a light strike. It didn't fire a single round. And I was frustrated. I was irritated. I was like, what the hell? Took it home, and I take it out another firearm with me that day to shoot. And so obviously I needed to clean that. And I was like, I'll use this Ballistol stuff. So I sprayed it down. I can't remember what other gun it was, but I decided to let it sit for a while. Came back, and that's when I discovered what my issue is. The Ballistol, it like turns into a grease once you let it sit. It congeals. So I just added even more crud into my firing pin channel. So what I did after that, I just sprayed a crap ton of CLP down in there, worked the firing pin back and forth with a punch, and then I'd spray some Haas Barrel Blast and Shine this stuff here, because it's like a cleaner, but it evaporates really fast. So my hope was, I don't know, it probably doesn't make sense, but like, you know, clean all that crap and then kind of evaporate it out of there, because I didn't want to add any more to the buildup. So I did that for, I don't know, probably a good hour. And then just, you know, wiped it down, sprayed some of that Blast and Shine in there. Hope there wasn't any more gunk. Took it out with me the next time I went shooting, and lo and behold, she shot just fine. And at that time, I think there was another firearm I had just purchased, so I was kind of trying to get some hands-on experience with that so I could do a video. And so after I saw that this was working again, and fortunately I just kind of put her back in the safe and forgot about it. Then a while ago, because like I said, 32 ACP is pretty fun. And my first M70 video, I talked about how I wanted at least 2 guns in 32 ACP since it was so fun. And well, obviously I have not gotten bored with 32 ACP because I got this Beretta 81. So that kind of reminded me of this little guy. I was like, oh yeah, I need to make sure it's still doing all right. So I'd taken it out a few times to make sure it functioned fine, but I never really, shot even a full box of ammo through it. And then recently I wanted to get it back out. And I was kind of like, oh yeah, I was supposed to do a follow-up for you guys. Oops. So just recently I have shot no fewer than 150 rounds through it. And I did not have a single light strike, no malfunctions whatsoever. The only issue I did have was once, right after I got done loading it, it would not chamber around. It would like lock up. And what it looked like it kind of happened was the 32 round is actually kind of a semi-rimmed round. It sticks out just a little bit. And I mean, I cannot get the round to push down or anything. And it looked like there was kind of like some rim lock going on or something. So that was a little frustrating. And I think what I did is I took my keys and I put them in here between 2 rounds and kind of pushed down to relieve the tension. And I popped that round out and then I put it back in and I was able to pop it in and out just fine after that. So that was kind of weird, but that was the only, time I had any issues. And that was clearly with, just the mag kind of getting, I guess, some rim lock on that. But no, I fired it, like I said in the first video. It's a very accurate little guy. It is just, and I've got small hands to give you a size comparison. Here is the Yugoslavian M57 Tokarev. So this one, the grip is just a little bit longer than your normal Tokarev. And here's the M70 on top. That angle completely sucks and tells you guys nothing. Okay, I'm trying not to mar up everything. And I know I put my hand over the muzzle. These are all safety checked. So this is substantially smaller. This is the M88, which is also a little smaller than the Tokarev. And this is slightly shorter. I do wish that this had like a little mag extension like the M88 does for your pinky here. My pinky's a little crooked, but like I said, I've got small hands. So for most, at least Americans, I guess, this might be a little uncomfortable to shoot. Of course, the kick is not very much at all. This is an all steel gun. 32 ACP doesn't pack a lot of punch. This is direct blowback, so typically sometimes that makes them a little snappier. In this case, it doesn't matter at all. But it's just a fun little gun to shoot. I mean, I really can't say anything other than that. And I know a lot of you people might be, you want to get a 32 ACP, but you don't know which one to get. Because this was, I don't know if I said it before, but it was $250 when I got it. I looked around just real briefly online right before making this video. I paid a little on the high range for this. A lot of places are currently sold out, but you could still find them some places for $200 to $250. So they're definitely still out there. You also have the VZ50 or VZ70. They're essentially the same gun. These were also all over the market recently. I did not look up to see their availability right now. But this gun as well is right in there at that $200 price range. And they're pretty, comparable. And then, of course, as I showed you earlier, you got the new contender, the Beretta M81. Now this guy's a double stack, so that's a little bit different. Also has an alloy frame, so it's a little bit lighter, even though probably being the biggest of the bunch. And that one is a little more than $200. I'll have to check the prices on that. And I shot all three of these recently too. And they do have their advantages and disadvantages, and I definitely think I do have my favorite. And I'm not going to tell you guys that because I'm going to keep you hanging until I actually make a video of all three of those 32 ACPs. Gotcha. So look forward to that. All right, so I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to go over. One thing just to let you know, I have discovered there's a few different holsters that are out there for this gun. So the most popular one is this. This is not the best representation because this one, like I said, it's like a worn-in baseball glove. But it's very much like the full-sized M57 holster. I know they look completely different because one's like brand new. But the design and you know how it's made, it's truly like a scaled-down version of that. I guess we are missing one or two stitches there. But in my quest to get a original holster for this guy, and I know a lot of people are going to comment and be like, oh, this holster works, this holster works. I get that. I'm a stickler. I was trying to find the specific one for this. And as I said in the review for this guy, from what I've kind of concluded is they never made one. But I did come across a holster on eBay that was advertised as being for the M70, but it was not this holster. And the dimensions it gave were really close to the M88, so I got all excited. And I can't remember how much I paid. I just noticed there's a price tag on the back. And, I'm pretty sure I didn't pay that much. I'm thinking at least 10 less. But what I found was this holster. Now, it looks pretty similar, but it's a little bit larger. Also, it's got this like wood reinforcement in here. And it's got this little extra curve. That's the easiest kind of way to determine the two different holsters, is it has this little curve, whereas the more common one is just kind of a swooping. But, alas, just in case you're wondering, I mean, it fits in there nice, but you are not closing that flap. And the mag doesn't fit in there all the way. So it is actually made for the M70. I do not know why there are two different holsters for the M70, but there you go. There are just a very slight difference. You've got that little hump there. Yeah, I was gonna say the price says $34.99. I wouldn't imagine I paid any more than $25 for this on eBay, and even then I was cringing, which I think I kind of remember cringing on this one, especially considering I wasn't even sure if it was the right holster. So if anyone's dead set on getting an M88 holster, I mean, I guess you can get one of these. Cut the flap off. This magazine pouch really does you no good because the mag is too wide since it's 9mm. Cut that off too or something, or just get a Makarov holster or something that works. But yeah, cannot find the original holsters for that guy for the life of me. But getting back to the M70, you know, I've shot at least 250 rounds just recently, and like I said, absolutely no issues other than that one mag kind of rim lock anomaly there. But yeah, I think that's all I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed my little spread here of Dinara, which is worth absolutely nothing now. We got Tito hanging out over here on the right. We got Tesla with his coil up here on the left. And I don't know who these other people are. But yeah, to kind of give you a little sneak peek too at some videos we might have coming up. Got some surplus ammo here that goes right along with our Yugoslavian stuff. So yeah, there's a rifle that goes to. I'm doing some research on that. I want to make sure I bring as much information as possible. And then along the lines of having a surplus gun that just is not working and you really want it to work, once I get her working, look for a video on this. Been having some issues. I'm frustrated. You know, I don't want to say it wasn't worth the Wulong yet, but God, is she not gorgeous. Oh, and I almost forgot. My first video, I wanted to show you the difference on the barrels, because this is a direct blowback. As you can see, the barrel does not tilt, which is kind of unusual because most direct blowbacks, the recoil spring will use the barrel as the guide rod. And as you can see here, it does have a guide rod, just like your normal Tokarev. And yeah, the chain, I looked up the picture. I found one of these M57s with a chain that looked just like this. And, well, you guys know how I am. I had to have one. And just so you know, I cannot source an original. This was just a really good look-alike that I happened to come across. So, the M57 Tokarev, and you know, pretty much any other Tokarev, see that barrel tilts down. So other than that, the designs are pretty much the same. It's just their mechanical function is slightly different in that way. So I've got the barrel out of my Polish Tokarev, which is going to be the same as the M57. You can see you got your locking lugs there that go all the way around. And I got the mag out. I'm twisting the bushing the wrong way. I do have to say, out of the Tokarevs, the M70 here is probably my least favorite to break down. It's pretty much the same as the Tokarev, just a little bit different. But as you can see, you know, the barrel comes off with the slide, which most blowbacks, the barrel is pinned to the frame. Wow, I did that all looking through the freaking camera, guys. And then as you can see here, I mean, that could be a lug, but it's not. And you can see the bottom of the barrel here is just designed to, there we go, just lock into place like that, and don't go nowhere. And you can see the trigger group. Ah, everyone does that, my lord. Not the trigger group. The hammer group falls out just like a Tokarev. And then, of course, you got this little, I forget the proper name for this, your little dropping link on the traditional style of Tokarev there. All right, I think that's it, guys. Apologize for the Band-Aid on the finger. Trunk bit me. Okay, if you like this video, I mean, like and subscribe. I hope to bring you more. Thanks for watching. Stay shiny.